Today in our video, we're going to talk about how to build a company culture. So how do we build a company culture? I'll take you through the steps that I took to build my company culture. Initially, I struggled with building a company culture because I had no idea how to go about it. And I remember we'd go to other websites and copy. We'd see them writing integrity, writing. I think integrity was very common, and there was integrity, there was honesty, there was which were a commonality in most of the websites that we went through within the company. And this one, we are coming from a place where I started when there was no internet, and now there was internet. We had an idea before. We'd read all this on magazines and we'd see companies writing about their core values, not knowing what they meant by that. We just assumed the company that is it is normal. It has to be the same. If they all write integrity, we all write integrity, not knowing that those core values are determined by the core values that you created, are the values that you have to adhere to within the company, especially when you have a purpose, when you're navigating through a purpose. You have a purpose to achieve, you have a vision. So with these core values, they give you the right direction they'll direct you in the most they'll direct you in the right they'll give you direction to the right path to be able to achieve your purpose. And as we know, culture is strategy. With the right strategy, if you don't have the right culture, things will not just work out. Things will be chaos. But with the right culture, because this culture is what will also help you bring in the right team that adheres to your culture. If somebody is not right for your culture, you obviously feel it. And now this is why we had to sit down and discuss with the team what is the right culture. Because if the team can perform but they are not relating, then the company will not move forward. But if the culture does not include performance, but the relationship is right, then the company will struggle. And that is where I was before I sat down and really analyzed on what we can do to move the company forward. So if you have to have the right culture, you have to balance the relationship, or the relationship and the performance. People call it family, I call it community. Yeah, when you build the right community with the right culture, then things will go right. You will be able to know, you'll be able to bring in the right team member who adheres to the same core values as you, and they'll be very comfortable. You'll be very comfortable working together. So we have to balance between building the right relationship. We look at what really works for us. In our team, what we noticed that we are very concerned about keeping time. And this was because of the kind of work we used to do. So we sat down and we navigated, and we saw we have to respect each other's time for us to be able to manage around our work processes. So that time, keep respecting each other's time became one of our core values. Which, if somebody did not respect the other's time, we thought like that was some kind of disrespect to that person. Yeah, because if you do not keep time, that means if you will not you will have messed up that person's whole day, because even that person had a plan for the whole day. So you delay his time, you go in late, obviously it will mess up all his the whole day. So if we respect each other's time, keep we are able to manage our time well. And this really worked for us well. So that was one of the core values that we had to integrate into our company culture, so that everybody is aligned to that value. So that is an example of one of our values, and also the respect to the customers. And by here we mean all customers, whether the external customers or internal customers. Customer can be your team. Customer can be your customer can be your team. A customer can be your supplier. A customer can be the actual customer. So you have to respect them all round. Serve them to the best that you can. And this is an all round. So those are the two examples of our culture that we had to of our core values that we had to put into our company, so that everybody adheres to those core values, and these ones built our culture. There are many more other core values that we have, but I've given those two examples just to give you a hint on how we can work around the culture thing. And you find that as the founder of the company, kind of these values relate to you. They are values that you are comfortable working within. And if you are honest, if you respect your team member, they also learn to respect you and respect other people. So whatever you do, your team, they emulate what you do. They don't emulate what you say. So that is how the company's culture builds up. It builds up without even you noticing. So if you want a good culture, have integrity, be have integrity, uh, respect other people, and the other team members will just adhere to that same culture. If you are dishonest, your team members will be dishonest. If they get into things which have integrity issues, if you do that, your team members will do that. So you act according to your culture, and your team members will also act according to you act according to your core values, and your team members will act according to your core values. And that is how the culture of the company is built.